Russian Dead Hand System. Beneath Mount Yamantau in the Russian Ural Mountains, there is a massive underground base, rumored to be the home of a disturbing doomsday device. The huge construction process was observed by US satellites over an almost 2-decade period starting in the late 80s, as well as 2 small towns being observed built nearby for workers. The theory states that along with storing thousands of nuclear weapons, the facility is home to a huge computer network that is designed to continue running in the event a nuclear strike hits the Russian mainland. This computer by itself could deliver an apocalyptic response in case every Russian military command had been lost. The majority of the mountain has been hollowed out to make way for a massive nuclear bomb. The nuke would be surrounded in tons of an extremely poisonous isotope of cobalt, effectively being a giant dirty bomb. Such a detonation would generate a massive encirclement of the Earth with a radioactive cloud that would cover every surface with the highly radioactive cobalt. Such a device would kill all land life, including humans, and leave the planet uninhabitable for thousands of years. Denver Airport. The Denver International Airport in the United States has many irregularities surrounding its construction and traveled far over budget, costing a staggering $4.8 billion. 110 million cubic feet of earth was removed from the site during its construction, much more than would be necessary. This suggests extensive underground infrastructure was built. Huge networks of underground tunnels were built big enough for trucks to drive through, as well as underground trains, most of which sit unused. Extremely creepy murals that depict genocide, biological warfare, and the end of human civilization adorn the walkways of the site. It has been suggested the airport was built to sort survivors of an apocalyptic world event, after which they would be flown to Denver, identified, decontaminated, and ferried onto networks of underground survival shelters. Another idea is that the New World Order will set the airport as their headquarters, controlling the order from the airport facility. Morgellons Syndrome. Morgellons Syndrome is a skin condition in which small, synthetic organisms grow underneath the skin. These organisms can go on to manufacture colonies of long, filamentary hollow fibers. These fibers cause extreme discomfort and pain as they grow. Often victims report the feeling these organisms are crawling just below the skin. Soon, these fibers erupt from the skin, opening up large lesions which continue to fester, showing no signs of healing. According to a Dr. Judy Wood's research, these fibers are segmented and contain synthetic, that is non-biological, self-replicating elements that resemble bacteria. The organisms are also said to produce nanocrystal-like structures that exhibit piezoelectrical properties, releasing flashes of light when crushed. Judy hypothesizes that these creatures are a bioengineered and gene-spliced nanotechnology developed by a secret government organization. The medical community has refused to acknowledge this condition, with the majority of cases being considered to be a disorder called delusional parasitosis. This involves individuals fictitiously believing that they are infested with parasites, bugs, or other insects. Nuclear 9/11. 9/11 was a tragic event in American history which led to one of America's longest military engagements and still ongoing war on world freedoms. The destruction of the World Trade Center towers, along with Building 7, unfolded on television screens worldwide and only resembled an American-style action movie. It is alleged factions inside the Bush government planned and orchestrated the event for a myriad of reasons, including, most commonly known, overthrowing the Iraqi government to secure Middle Eastern oil deposits and to make massive profits from the extensive military buildup and wars that 9/11 led to. There is strong evidence to suggest micronuclear devices, along with regular explosives, brought the 3 buildings down in a controlled style demolition. Nuclear devices detonated in the right places below the building's basements would create cavities in the earth sufficient enough for the buildings to fall into, just how they were seen to freefall on television. The nuclear explosion would be directed upwards and would also create a heat and overpressure sufficient enough to melt the central core of the buildings. A nuclear explosion is the only device capable of producing the inferno of molten steel that raged under the site for over 3 months. Nuclear demolition methods for large skyscrapers is not a new idea and has been around since the 1960s. No flash commonly associated with a nuke would be seen with the device being well underground, and radiation levels could be back to normal within days. There is no denying that the large pyroclastic clouds of smoke seen on video when the buildings fell closely resemble the typical mushroom cloud associated with a nuclear explosion. The Dulce Base. The Dulce Base is said to be a joint human-alien research base located underground around the town of Dulce on the Colorado-New Mexico border in the United States. Presumed to have been constructed by Rand Corporation plans, utilizing nuclear weapons to blast large underground voids in which the base would then be built. The base has 7 levels, the lowest of which is nicknamed the Nightmare Hall and consists of endless rows of humans in cages, all appearing to be heavily drugged. It is said that grey aliens working with human counterparts conduct genetic, drug, and mind control experiments on human patients that are mostly the victims of abduction phenomena. A former base security officer, Thomas E. Costello, grew tired of what he was witnessing and decided he had to inform the public about the evils being committed. Taking several technical notes and a few short videos from the facility, he headed home to collect his wife and child, only to discover the government handlers had got them first. Thomas knew that they would be the latest victims of the Level 7 Nightmare Hall, with himself facing the same fate should he try to go back. With nothing left to lose, Mr. Costello leaked the papers and videos exposing the previously publicly unknown base. This information became known as the Dulce Papers and is available on the internet.